For some of you, $60 might be a bit too much for a video game, so in this video, we take a look at 10 excellent PS4 games that are available for under $30 as of March 2016. We are using Amazon.com for our prices, and if you're watching this video at a later date, the prices do fluctuate, so keep that in mind. Also, links for all of these games will be in the description box down below. With that being said, let's get right into this. Number 10, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition for $25. Shadow of Mordor was one of the most surprising games of 2014. I think most of us figured that it would be pretty good, but it turned out to be an awesome open-world action-adventure game. The world and the graphics are on point, and possibly the best part of the game is the refined and responsive gameplay. Think something like Batman Arkham Knight mixed with a bit of Assassin's Creed. It's very good, and if you haven't played it, for $25, it's a steal. Number 9, Final Fantasy X/10-2 HD Remastered for $20. Final Fantasy X was one of the most iconic games on the PS2. The JRPG was originally released back in 2001 and went on to become one of the best games of its era. It was re-released on the PlayStation 3 and then eventually onto the PlayStation 4 in a collection that also includes the sequel, Final Fantasy X-2. If you've already played both games back in the day, the collection isn't that much different outside of the better visuals and an included audio drama that takes place after X-2, which is pretty nice. However, for only $20, these are two games that will keep you busy for hundreds of hours, and it's well worth your money. Number 8, Far Cry 4 for $23. Ubisoft's Far Cry series has gained quite a bit of fame over the past few years. Far Cry 4 was a game that I personally didn't think was worth $60. Don't get me wrong, it was a very good game, but it was just more of the same of what we got in Far Cry 3. But now that you can get the game for $23, I would say this is a great pickup. Far Cry is an open-world first-person shooter with loads of content, great gameplay, and fantastic visuals. And if you've never played a Far Cry game, I would get this as soon as possible. And the latest game, Far Cry Primal, just released, so if you end up liking this, maybe check that out too. Number 7, Metro Redux Collection for $16. Quality story-driven single-player first-person shooters are kind of hard to come by these days, but that's exactly what Metro Redux is. Metro Redux compiles Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, both of those games being very, very good. They both do a good job creating a very atmospherical world and actually gets players attached to the world and characters in the game. Not only that, mechanically the game is also very well thought out. Sure, the games might not be the 30-hour open-world epics that many games these days are, but for $16 you're getting two excellent first-person shooters that are very different from everything else on the market today. Number 6, Batman Arkham Knight for $25. The last entry to the Batman Arkham series was a bit of a mixed bag to some people. While the game still had everything that made the previous Arkham games great, the subpar Batmobile sections of the game hindered the experience by a bit. However, if you can get past that, you're gonna find an excellent game. Batman Arkham Knight features a fully open-world recreation of Gotham City with more content than any of the previous games. The combat is just as good as previous games, and visually the game is spectacular. Currently, the game is available for $25, and for that price, Arkham Knight receives an easy recommendation from me. Number 5, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag for $27. Yes, I know many of you find Assassin's Creed a stale formula at this point, but if you didn't play 2013's Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, I implore you, go do that ASAP. Most people seem to think that Assassin's Creed 2 is the best of the series, but I would put Black Flag right on par with it, maybe even a bit better. The pirate theme of the game is done outstandingly, and from a design point of view, Ubisoft absolutely nailed it. From the graphics, the voice acting, music, it's all excellent. Not only that, Assassin's Creed 4 is huge, with so many areas to explore and missions to complete. The game is loaded with content. And if you just want to go through the main story, that's very well done too. Edward Kenway is one of the best protagonists in an AC game yet. Black Flag is available for $27, and while some might find that a bit expensive for a 2-year-old game, I still think it's easily worth it. Number 4, Until Dawn for $29.99. Supermassive created one of the most surprisingly good games of 2015 in Until Dawn. The game is an interactive survival horror game, so you must know that Until Dawn does not have a lot of gameplay. It's very similar to games like Heavy Rain or The Walking Dead, in that it's a lot of quick time events, walking around, and generally it's very story driven. If you enjoy games like that, you'll really like Until Dawn. I wouldn't say that Until Dawn is as moving or emotional as Heavy Rain. It's more of a cheesy 80s horror movie, but that's the charm of the game. Now that Until Dawn is available for $29.99 for the digital copy, I can give the game a recommendation because in the past for $60 I really didn't think it was worth it. Number 3, Dragon Age Inquisition for $20. Dragon Age Inquisition was the first major RPG on the next generation platforms. With the developers of the game being BioWare, you should already know that it's a pretty good game. Artistically and visually, this game is on a very high level, creating an amazing fantasy world and environment. The gameplay is complex and it found a balance of the slower paced gameplay in Dragon Age Origins as well as the action style gameplay in Dragon Age 2. However, the highlight of Dragon Age Inquisition is by far the story and characters. The characters are well developed and the writing in the game is excellent. It's the BioWare fantasy epic that you would expect at this point, but that's a good thing. Best of all, the game is available for just $20 and that's a complete steal. Number 2, Infamous Second Son for $20. Infamous Second Son was one of the premier PlayStation 4 exclusives following the console's launch. You could tell that Sucker Punch may have been pressured to put this game out as soon as possible because Second Son is not up to par compared to previous Infamous games. Some of the content in the game just felt rather redundant and the main story could be finished pretty quickly. Now, it's not a bad game by any means, in fact it's very good. The game visually is still one of the best games on the PlayStation 4, and from pure gameplay and fun perspective, Infamous Second Son is awesome. Flying around the world going from landmark to landmark is an absolute blast. And being only $20 doesn't hurt either. Now is a great time to get yourself familiar with Infamous. Number 1, Bloodborne for $28. As of recording this video, Bloodborne is by far the biggest exclusive on the PlayStation 4. If you own the console and you haven't played this game, then I don't know what you're doing. From Software has put themselves on the map with their phenomenal work on the Souls game, and Bloodborne follows suit. Bloodborne creates very atmospheric environments with the excellent visuals and detail along with the stellar audio and music. Although there are less weapons than what you would expect from a typical FromSoft game, they're all very unique and well thought out. Even if you never played a Souls game, give Bloodborne a shot, and now with a digital code being available for $28, it's a bargain. So that wraps up 10 excellent PlayStation 4 games available for under $30. What do you think? Are you gonna pick any of these games up? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.